looks a lot like your living room. Like ours
Yes,
looks like our dining
you
room.
guessed right. You guessed right. But I think Rabbi Nancy is
Sukkot
in a real
is a very
sukkah.
ancient Jewish
I
feast,
am in
and you're
the
about to
sukkah.
find out what's it all about.
Yeah.
The nation of Israel is celebrating the Feast of Sukkot, aka the Feast of Tabernacles, and I am in a sukkah. So why do we celebrate Sukkot? Why do we build a sukkah and stay there for 7 days when we actually have houses? Yes, in Israel, we live in actual houses. Well, the answer goes back to around 3,400 years ago. When the people of Israel left Egypt, they were in the desert and God told them to build a sukkah and dwell there. According to the most ancient Jewish book, the Bible, God provided Israel everything they needed in the desert, and He commanded them to build a sukkah every year and dwell there for 7 days, so that we, the coming generations, may know that He took care of Israel when bringing them out of Egypt, and He made them dwell in the sukkah. It's a really fun feast. Families gather together, eat in the sukkah, and have fun. So that's why I'm in a sukkah instead of in my house under the air conditioner. Happy Sukkot, everyone, or how we say in Hebrew, Chag Sameach. Sukkot is a
So, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm so happy to see you. And we put on that little reminder of Sukkot because we are in the festival of Sukkot. And throughout the service, you will be seeing sukkahs throughout the world. And I am speaking to you from my sukkah in my backyard, where I eat and sleep. Welcome to my sukkah, and I'm delighted that you're here. Oh no, Strudels. Hold on one second. My trusty dog just almost got to my collar. Oh my goodness. So here we are. So let's make sure everybody can say Shabbat Shalom to each other. Do you want to go on gallery just for a moment so we can see each other? Shabbat Shalom. Everybody say hi to each other.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. So we will be enjoying poetry and songs that have to do with Sukkot and the theme of impermanence. One of the traditional songs that we sing at Sukkot is Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov, Ki Leolam Chasto. Give thanks for the eternal who is good, for God's mercy endures forever. Hodu Ladonai Ki Tov, Ki Leolam Chasto, Ki Leolam Chasto. Yomar na Yisrael Ki Tov, Ki Leolam Chasto, Ki Leolam Chasto. Yomru na Beit Aharon Ki Tov, Ki Leolam Chasto, Ki Leolam Chasto. Yomru na Yirei Adonai Ki Tov, Ki Leolam Chasto, Ki Leolam Chasto. And so we have, we're imagining, and friends, I am just so imagining what is going to be for all of us before too long. But for right now, we will imagine that we're all together in a sukkah celebrating Shabbat. So, Joel, do you have candles there? You're on mute.
I do.
You do? Does anybody else have candles also? We'll all light together. Joel, why don't you light yours and we'll light them with you.
Wow, they're really long wicks.
That's good. It's
Too
better
long.
to have a long fuse than a short one. That's what we say.
I have really dull scissors.
You ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kedeshenu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. So this sukkah is a novelist. Just take a look at that. All those pomegranates and limes and pears, and I just had to show you. Delicious. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 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 שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם תפארת ולתחילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם ניסוחה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Bowie Shalom. We welcome the Sabbath bride. Bowie ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. So tonight we welcome the, how do I explain this? Every night of Sukkot, we have an Ushpizin, a guest that comes. And tonight we welcome Aaron, who is linked to peace. Heidi, would you please read this first part by Rav Abraham Isaac Cook? Uh-oh, I don't think I hear her. Maybe she's not here.
She's not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Holly.
Rav Avraham Isaac Cook, the first Ashkenazi chief rabbi of British Mandatory Palestine in the land of Israel, founder of the yeshiva Merkaz Harav, a Jewish thinker, Kabbalist, and renowned scholar. He is considered one of the fathers of religious Zionism. If you desire human being, look at the light of God's presence in everything. Look at the Eden of spiritual life and how it blazes into each corner and crevice of life, spiritual and of this world, right before your eyes of flesh and your eyes of soul. Gaze at the wonders of creation at their divine life, not like some dim phenomenon that is placed before your eyes from afar, but know the reality in which you live. Know yourself and your world. Know the thoughts of your heart and of all who speak and think. Find the source of life inside you, higher than you, around you.
And keep going, please.
See the beautiful souls alive in this generation in whose midst you are immersed. The love within you, lift it up to its mighty root, to its beauty of Eden. Send it spreading out to the entire flood of the soul of the life of words, whose life is reduced only by incapable human expression. Gaze at the lights, at what they contain. Do not let the names, phrases, and letters swallow up your soul. They have been given over to you. You have not been given over to them. Rise up, for you have the power. You have wings of the Spirit, wings of powerful eagles. Do not deny them. Seek them, and you will find them instantly.
Thank you. So here we have on our tour of Sukkot around the world, we have the one from Oregon. It's called a Sukkah. And the words that are mitzvah gedola lihiot besimcha, words by Rabbi Nachman of Bratislav, because Sukkot is called Zman Simchatenu, the festival of happiness. So here's a little Hasidic song that goes with that. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha tamid. Again, mitzvah gedola liot besimcha. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha tamid. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha. Mitzvah gedola liot besimcha tamid. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבם, ויעמד יברח ירתה וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה Bagala ובזמן קריב, ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעלמי עלמיא. יתברך, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בימה, ויאמרו אמן. La 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 la, 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 la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Le'olam Va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Please be seated. So the etrog is referred to as citrus fruit, or Eitz Hadar, and the lulav is referred to as palm branches, or kapot marim. Each species is said to Kabbalistically represent an aspect of the user's body. The lulav represents the spine, the myrtle the eyes, the willow the lips, and the etrog represents the heart. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat lulav. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chochma poteach sha'arim, uvitfuna meshana itim umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uben layla, Adonai tzevaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Penny, if you're there, would you please read this teaching by Rumi, The Guest House? There you are. You're on mute. There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yes.
Rumi, The Guest House Trans, Coleman Barks. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door, laughing, and invite them in. Be careful for whatever comes.
Be grateful.
But be grateful for whatever comes. because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
So we'll just stick with that text for a moment. Thank you for reading it.
Mhm.
Thank you. Ram Dass says, we're all just walking each other home. Look at those sukkahs. That one would be Israel. So this is an Ahavat Olam that I have heard we've shared a little bit at our services. The Platt brothers have sung it, and it really is it's in 3 parts, and I'm going to sing one part. But one day, either 3 of us or the choir will be able to sing this in the harmony that it deserves. The Ahavat Olam repeats, it's kind of like a chorus. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu Lemadeta. At home, please try it. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu Lemadeta. Al Ken Adonai Eloheinu B'shochbeinu Uvkumeinu Nasiach Bechukecha V'nismach B'divrei Toratecha Mitzvot Techa Leolam Va'ed Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta. When we lie down, when we rise up, this joy will last forever. When we lie down, when we rise up, this joy will last forever. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta. Please stand for Shema if you're able. Another sukkah image. One day, my friends, we'll get there. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol meodecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha, hayom al levavecha, ושילנתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקמך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. So I just want to say, check out that sukkah. I know. I know. Here we go. Mi chamoch vaylim Adonai, mi kamoch neta v'kodesh, Torah tehilot osefele, Torah tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam. Za'elianu ve'aru, Za'elianu ve'aru, Adonai yiloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yiloch le'olam va'ed. ונאמר כי פדאי את אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. I know. I must tell you, my friends, I kind of had a fabulous time looking for the most unusual sukkahs I could find. It has been brought to my attention that it looks like, Rick, do you want to say it?
I think that kid is getting ready to give the camel a COVID test.
I know. Thank you. But okay. I know. Wait, we got to go back.
Okay.
Go back to the sukkah on the camel. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha yalai 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 la 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 yalai 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 la 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 la. Dear God, spread over us a shelter, a sukkah of peace. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת שבת וינפש שבת, שבת וינפש שבת. And this is another image of a sukkah from Neot Kedumim, the biblical nature reserve in Israel. So sweet. If you're able, please join me. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 Adonai. Ya la 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 Svatai Tikta. Ya la 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 Ufi Agi. Ufi Agi Tahilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל העליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו ביעבם. מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. My friends, I remind you that we are still considered in summer until the very end after Simchat Torah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה לחיים בחסד, וחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום ילוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam mi'ahava tikabel u'tahil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'odecha levadecha v'yira navod navod navod. So let's just take a few moments. This would be the Jeff and his family. This is the Swat Sukkah. It's just beautiful. We're going to just take a few moments as though we're all there together and with our own prayers of the heart. So please sit back in your chairs if that's where you are, and allow yourself to just be in that peaceful, serene place with the prayers of your heart. My friends, we take some focus of our prayers at this time and direct them to anyone who is in need of healing. If you would unmute yourself so that you could say the names of whoever you're praying for on this Shabbat.
Kevin Crease, Sherry Jones, Matt Drake, Linda Roman.
Tony Maynard, Stanley Carter, Bill McDonald,
Robert Cook,
Lois Brown,
Robin Gillette,
Celine Walker,
for all those that are struggling with COVID throughout this world, we pray for their healing. We turn to Mishaberach.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קורב, אך קרוב לרעב אישו. We pray for healing of the body. We pray for healing of the soul, for strength of flesh and mind and spirit. We pray to us again, Oh, please heal us. רפואה שלווה. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. הושיע את עמך, וברכת לחלקך, ורם ונעשה העולם. מי שברך אבותינו, מי שברך אמותינו, אנא אדוני הושיענה. We pray for healing of our people. We pray for healing of the land and peace for every race and nation, every child, every woman, every man. And oh, please heal us now. Please heal us oh, please don't heal us now. Please heal us Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us now. Heal us
So, for those of you who haven't met Strudels, there he is, and that's what nighttime looks like in the sukkah. It says in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 42 to 43, Basukot teshvu shiva yamim, kol ha'ezrach b'Yisrael yeshvu basukot, leman yad'u dorotechem ki vasukot. הושבתי את בני ישראל, בהוציא אותם מארץ מצרים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall live in booths or sukkot 7 days. All citizens in Israel shall live in booths, in order that future generations may know that I made the Israelites live in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. So friends, while a sukkah is one of the largest and most physically imposing Jewish ritual objects, the meaning of the structure and the reason why we're commanded to dwell in the sukkah are quite obscure. Of course, there are the common answers that we have heard. We dwell in the sukkah as a symbolic reminder of the clouds of glory that protected the children of Israel during their 40 years of wandering in the desert, or that we dwell in the sukkah to connect us with our ancestors who would sleep in such structures during the harvest season. According to these teachings, we were and we are protected spiritually with simplicity and with the faith of knowing God. Now, a different interpretation of the meaning of sukkah emerges out of a Talmudic debate between Rabbi Yehuda and the sages about whether or not a sukkah requires a mezuzah on its doorpost. In Yoma, that's the name of the tractate. Rabbi Yehuda argues a sukkah should have the characteristics of a fixed and permanent dwelling, and therefore it requires a mezuzah. The sages, on the other hand, argue that a sukkah should have the characteristics of a temporary and impermanent dwelling and therefore does not require a mezuzah. We all know how this plays out. When was the last time you kissed a mezuzah on your way into a sukkah? The law is in accordance with the sages, and the essence of the sukkah is that it must feel like a temporary dwelling. So what does this mean? Why should the Torah command us to leave the comfort and safety of our houses and instead traditionally spend the week treating a temporary hut as if it were our real home? While most of us have not had the experience of living in an outdoor sukkah, in Israel and other places in the world, this is the practice, eating and hanging out in the sukkah. The answer to this question begins with another question. What do we learn about ourselves and our lives when we leave the trappings of material wealth and society and open up ourselves to the experience of impermanence and insecurity of a life in a simple hut? Put in another way, how much do we truly need? The Alter Rebbe, who lived in the 18th century, was the author of the Tanya, which is a Hasidic book, and it teaches a little answer to this. The Alter Rebbe explains that the physical world, which appears to the eye as utterly substantial, is literally nothing and not compared to the Holy One. In other words, all the material objects in the world that we depend on, our cars, our phones, our laptops, all of our devices, our housing, our clothing, all these things that often define who we are and how we spend our time are truly just illusions and, according to the Alter Rebbe, do not even exist. While we may not want to take those words literally, there is something profound here. The Alter Rebbe reminds us that all too often we invest material objects with an importance that they do not deserve. Without even being aware of it, we start to believe that we need all these things in order to be happy. Part of the power of the sukkah is that it is a dirat arai. It is a temporary dwelling place, and it lacks the permanence and the materialistic quality of our normal lives. I know that this sukkah in my backyard will not last forever. I know that its foundation is insecure. And while I may have decorated it to make it pretty, the dwelling remains simple and free from the clutter of material life. And all the more so with these COVID times, where our sukkah at CBS was a drive-through sukkah, made so beautiful by the work of our children's hands and by the muscles of our adults, and it only stayed up for a day. And yet in that small space, we are joyous. We were content, and we had all the things that really mattered. We had the power of community and the wisdom of our tradition. In this way, the sukkah pushes us to rediscover the power of knowing how little we actually need and how simplicity can bring us so much joy. May this teaching of Sukkot and all the sukkahs that we looked at in the service plant a little seed in our hearts. And may it be next year we will be leading and enjoying a sukkah for a week. Amen. So I think that Bob might be on for announcements because I see you, but we don't see the announcements. Oh, there we are. Hi, Bob. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Did you see a sukkah that you really liked of all the sukkahs?
I like that two-story one. That was pretty cool.
Holly, what about you?
I like the camel.
Yeah.
Camel sukkah.
Camel sukkah, yeah. I kind of thought that the boat sukkah had a little charm.
That was neat.
Yes.
Okay.
As Roy commented in the chat room, it was a boat through sukkah instead of a drive-through sukkah. Anyway, tomorrow morning, Torah study at 9 a.m., starting with Ecclesiastes, right?
Yes.
we traditionally read on Sukkot. And the text is available on our website. There's no neshama this Sunday. Religious school is off for the holidays and will be returning the following Sunday. We've had a really good turnout for religious school. And so if you know of any others who want to sign up and be part of it, make sure you let Esther know. And we really enjoy having the children there Sunday morning. There's a Yitzhak observance on Tuesday at 10 a.m. on Zoom. And the link has been mailed out, but it'll also be on our website. And then Simchat Torah, the celebration with the flags and the marching and the singing and enjoying, celebrating, is actually going to be in person as well as televised. We will be in the parking lot behind the sanctuary there. So we're going to rope that area off, have some chairs out there, have some flags and things. So if you'd like to come down and feel safe wearing your mask and being part of us, we're going to all gather and see how that goes. So that's at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6, and that's on Tuesday. And if you prefer, we're going to watch it on Zoom too, I think, Rick. So it'll be both ways. Okay?
That's correct, Bob.
Okay. Next page, please. Volunteers. We had a great spot on Channel 3. I don't know if some of you saw that the other day, and they featured Dev Berger, who is one of the co-chairs of our food fair. And at the end of the evening, after the spot, we had over $1,000 in orders for the food fair. So it really works to get on television. And they're coming again to film us next Tuesday, making some chopped liver. So we'll see how that spot goes too. So watch for us on Channel 3 and 31. And they've been very kind to give us advertising space. But we still need some bakers because we've got lots of orders. So go online and use the Sign Up Genius. I've been making some apple cakes. Holly's been making macaroons, and there are a lot of things to make. And it's a great fundraiser. It's really working out well. The two co-chairs have done a lot, and our bakers have gone way beyond, and they've got a lot to do. So it's website, Sign Up Genius, baking. Okay, thank you very much.
Dear friends, if you're able to stand, please do.
Can you say Torah studies tomorrow?
I said, yeah.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה וקרא בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, בגובה מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבותה, לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחתנו. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. The last part means, and God's name is one. We remember with much love The yard sites of Hilda Smith Berkman, mother of Renee Schoch, Morris Brennan, father of Alice Brennan, and David Spieler, father of Heidi Mathet. I remember with much love Emma Ronquillo Nalangan, Linda Clark, Bill Jenkins, Sergeant Beryl Hadera Shmuley, Raquel Kagan de Apasoa, Dennis Mathet, Sandra Jeffrey, Florenciano Carvajal, Nancy Ann Setter, Charlie Hilty, Murray Fink, Maria Pellegrino Eisner, Sheila Sugarman, Nancy Norton Fleischman, Raul Saavedra, Leroy Davis, Sarah Everard, Christine Verano, Maury Shapiro, Ann Kilcrease, Gloria Dottie, Susan Blum, Jerome Marvin Hyman, Ivan Krakowski, Michael Salmon, Dean Myrtle, Frank Ketchel. Are there any other names that were not listed? Please share them at this time. Zichronam Livracha, may all their memories be for a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad yivrach yirotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'ameh amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha brichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yakol yoshvei tevel. V'imru amen. Friends, please be seated. If this is the time when you would pour yourself a glass of juice or wine or to prepare for Kiddush, you can do it now. It is customary to, as Bob said, to read from the book of Kohelet, or as we know as Ecclesiastes. So Ecclesiastes says in chapter 9, go eat your bread in gladness and drink your wine in joy, for your action was long ago approved by God. Let your clothes always be white and your head never lack oil. Enjoy happiness with the one you love all the fleeting days of life that have been granted to you under the sun, all your fleeting days. For that is your portion in life from the labor you do under the sun. Whatever it is in your power to do, do it with all your might. Roy, are you there to lead us in Kiddush?
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, Roy. Which sukkah did you like?
I like the camel.
You like the camel. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah v'mikra'ei kodesh Decher l'tziat Mitzrayim, Ivanu v'charta, Yotanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, Shabbat kadshecha, Yahava uvratzon, inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh ha'Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. L'chaim. To you and to yours. Sarah, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So Esther put in some good news in the chat. and that we one of our own, Leo Newman, son of Morris and Sharon, will be one of our Hebrew teachers, and we are so excited that he will be with us. He's fun and he's smart and he connects well, and we are so blessed. So I join you, Esther, and it's a great thing for Neshama.
Oh, thank you, Rabbi. And it was Roy who put it in the chat. Thank you, Roy, for sharing the great news. So we have a contract and we're ready to go, and we can't wait to have Leo join us this coming week.
He signed his contract today.
Yes.
That's such good news. And I want to say something else that's fun. Next Friday, friends, is the first Friday night of the month. And I don't know how that happened, but there were a bunch of holidays in September. Remember? Do you remember? Okay. Anyway, we're going to have our annual blessing of the animals. So whether you knew an animal, have an animal, whatever, please come and join us. We will be spaced out safely as we were last year with masks. And for those of you who would like to bring your dog or your fish or whatever, please do, because we will be blessing those animals at our 6 p.m. service and also having our prayers, etc. So it is not stuffed animals. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about stuffing the live animal. No, you can bring your stuffed animal, Roy. Yes, you may. So that will be fun. So I look forward to seeing you if you're able to join us, and it will be live Zoomed also. So that's our annual Bereshit Blessing of the Animals Shabbat next Friday at 6 p.m. If you can be there, we'll see you. All right, folks. It's time for challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'teva. So I cannot tell you how much I've enjoyed leading this service from the sukkah and seeing all these sukkahs with you. The kids enjoyed the song, and I hope you do too. Here's the chorus. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Okay, that's the chorus, right? Sukkot is a harvest holiday. The celebration lasts for 7 days. We build our sukkah, then we decorate a special booth in which we congregate. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. The symbols of Sukkot are quite unique. They show God's presence the entire week. The etrog smell, it gets in the air. We wave the lulav everywhere. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Hadass and Arava on either side surround the lulav that we shake with pride. To north, south, west, and then the east, we celebrate and then we feast. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Do the lulav shake. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Let's do gallery just to say hey to everybody. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Sukkah.
You
Have a good week.
all.
Hey, Henry. Greetings. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thanks for joining us.
Shalom.
Heidi, I love it when you say everybody's name.
All right, okay. Shabbat shalom, Rabbi Nancy. Shabbat shalom, Rick. Shabbat shalom, Bob and Holly. Shabbat shalom, Sarah. Shabbat shalom, Joel. Shabbat shalom, Roy and Sarah. I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. There's a Hess. Shabbat shalom, Danielle Hess.
Danielle.
Shabbat Shalom, Henry. Shabbat Shalom, Sharon and Nick. Shabbat Shalom, Charlie and Esther. Shabbat Shalom, Penny. Shabbat Shalom, Louisette.
And we got Jean
Shabbat Shalom,
Bagoon.
Heidi.
Yeah.
I
Jean
didn't see Jean Bagoon. Sorry. Oh, there he is. Shabbat Shalom, Jean Bagoon, and Kathy
and
maybe.
Kathy.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Rick, thank you for doing such a great job with the slides tonight. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Bye,
Have a good
everybody.
evening, everybody.
Bye.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Sharon.
shalom, everyone. Good night.
Shalom.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Do, 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 do.